In today's video, we're going to upgrade the Model 3 2024 edition, dubbed Highland, wireless charging pad experience. We're going to keep the wireless function, but we're going to add so many more things to it. This was an accessory sent over to me from Hansshow, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with you guys. So without further ado, let's add way more functionalities that you can think of on the wireless charging pad, including the ability of syncing the lighting effect onto the car. This is TK. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new accessories and new videos for you on the channel. We're going to start off by saying, first and foremost, this is actually a very simple installation. It's very straightforward. We are going to need to take the wireless charging pad from the original wireless charging pad from the Tesla and keep that or carry it over to the new accessory that we're getting from Hansshow. That itself is actually pretty much the skeleton experience that transfers from one car to the other. And we're going to be basically connected directly into the port on the right side of the car next to the passenger side. And I'll say probably for the most part, the installation took me about maybe 15 minutes, mostly because I haven't had to open that experience there or that area over there. You remove the gasket, you get access to the side panel, you remove the area next to the side in there. And the biggest thing about that is you need to basically route the cable that they provided you all the way to the back of the wireless charger that we have in here. Now, the existing wireless charging pad, I'll say that was a little bit challenging to get out, but you just need to understand that it is essentially a pull back motion. So if you're facing that charging pad, you just basically have to grab it from both sides, get the pins or the snaps on the side and pull it towards you, because that's the configuration that it comes out. Once you have it out, it's an easy installation. There's typically by default, one cable connected, and then you remove that and then you take out the charging pad with the shell that's on the outside. From there, you need to transfer the actual mechanism, the wireless charging mechanism, from the stock Tesla one over to the Hansshow one. Use the existing screws, configure it so that it works correctly. And at that point, when you get back into the actual car, you need to connect the additional cable that comes with the Hansshow kit. They include all the cables that you need. And the main thing that you need there is connect the cable in the right orientation to the bottom of the pad in the back. And then, of course, the wireless charger connects to the wireless charger. Once you have that in, and it's literally that 90% it's done, and you tucked in all the cables on the side, you ran it correctly in there. They do include a QR code in the box for a video instruction to show you exactly how to install it, so you're not going to be left alone. And of course, at the end, just clean up all the wires, put that in. You're pretty much set. And this is where I really like about it, because it's very functional and it's right within arm's reach. This is something that you typically reach all the time if, let's say, you're charging your phone. You're always going into that area, making this very easy to access and, of course, nicely customized. What you're seeing here, obviously, are the controls that we have at the bottom. We have two USB-C ports that are connected on the right and left. So that's two additional USB-C ports to be able to charge from. We have the parking configuration. Obviously, you have to put your foot on the brakes, and once you have that on, you'll be able to start shifting between the different gears on the car. And it's exactly the same experience as if you're using the display or the ones that we have on top next to the hazard light at the top. We have the reverse, drive. Those are primarily in there. There is no neutral in here. You still need to use the display for that. Park is pretty straightforward. Once you shift it out of park, you're able to shift between those two as long as the speed of the car is running normally. Now here, it makes it very nice and comfortable. Let's say you want to open up the door to your family member, your wife, your girlfriend, whomever you want. This opens up the front the front passenger seat and the back passenger seat, the two that are the foremost away from us. The next button that we have in here, this is something depending if you actually have the sport mode activated on your car or not. If you do, this ends up being the functional option to turn it on and turn it off. By default right now, this is actually just on all the time because it's using standard mode on my car. I don't have sport mode, so unfortunately that doesn't work. But it stays on, not a lot else there, but if you do end up going with sport mode, this will be one of the ways to actually activate it. The next one here is something that we typically need to do whenever we go charge our car. If you don't like to activate it by navigating to it, just go ahead and click this button. It will precondition the battery, getting you ready directly to go charge up with super fast speed. So right now I'm going to click that, it'll start it. I'm actually going to disable it right now because I don't want to precondition it, but it does activate the preconditioning function on the car. And this last one here allows you to actually use the defrost functionality when the air conditioning is turned on. So if you have your AC turned on, pushing this button activates the defrost function. And what it allows it to do is to defrost your front windshield and gives you obviously the visibility that you're looking for. And then when you don't want that, you disable it, the AC goes back to normal. So a lot of nice functionalities. And of course, the biggest part about this is the fact that it has the aura light, or at least I'm calling it the aura light, but essentially it's mirroring the lighting effect of the car. And what I like about it is it's configured straightforward in the same UI. So pretty much you go under lights here in the car, and then you go straight in here, configure the colors that you want. And then for the most part, as long as you configure it in here, the lighting in the car matches the one that we have here directly, and you can change it, customize it. And of course, you can also customize the experience from having it either on all the time, night light, or off. And then of course the brightness. All of these are configured to run for the actual unit itself, as well as the ones that we have in the car. And that was pretty much it. Simplest installation that I've ever had to do in one of the customization options that we have. I'll probably say the hardest part of this entire setup right now was removing the existing wireless charger. The other thing I do want to mention is a little bit of a side note. The existing wireless charger has more of the same material that we have on the handles and the side part of the door. This, the one that actually was sent over from Hansshow, although looks very similar, it is made more of a plastic feel, but aesthetically you really wouldn't even ever notice it unless you're actually putting your hands on it to feel the difference. So there's no stitching on the side the way that it comes with the stock option on the car. Maybe they'll have a different version in the future, but existing right now, the colors match the rest of the materials around it. It looks really nice. It doesn't have any issues with the actual sliding door at the bottom of it. When you're setting up and actually putting everything back in there, make sure you tuck the cables a little bit above to the back so that it actually keeps everything configured correctly. Works really nice, makes it very, very functional. For me, the biggest difference, of course, is not having to always kind of go back to the display. On my display, because I've already set up a tilt factor, the actual gear shift is a little bit further away from me. So every time I'm driving, I actually have to kind of put my hand further out to get it. This makes it very simple. Again, it's in with the same reach that we have whenever we're putting our phone on the wireless charger. I'll say this, I have accidentally inadvertently touched the buttons on the opening the side door by mistake a couple of times, and then when I'm locking the car and I'm walking away from it, it didn't automatically lock. So I will say just be mindful now that there are buttons there, not to actually touch them when you're actually moving your hand around there, and then for the most part you're good. The sport mode, I wish I had the function installed. If I did, that would have been nice, but otherwise I think this is a very nice addition, a very nice customization from not only on the lighting effect, keeping the wireless charging functionality, but also giving me the gear shifting options that we have in there. And I can actually now open the door on my Model 3. The front side passenger door actually props a little bit open whenever you push the button. So it makes it easy for the person outside, if they're not familiar on how to open it, just to hold it from the side of the door and open it all the way. Same thing for the back passenger side. It doesn't have one for the back one behind me. Unfortunately, that's going to be obviously, most people usually come in from the right, I guess. That's the main configuration. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you have a Model 3 2024 edition? And have you thought about getting something this cool that is this easy to install on your car? Thank you to Hansshow for sending this over. And of course, like and subscribe as usual. I will see you in the next video.